All right. Good evening. I'm Jeff Koinange, and this is Jeff Koinange, literally live at the Villa Rosa Kempinski. I'm going to tell you about those guys behind me in a while. There's a big movement going on called Chapati Movement, and it's courtesy of one of my guests tonight. We'll talk about it later on in the show. But first, if it's Wednesday, you know it's all about politics 101. And I've gathered three bright young minds with three varying positions and opinions to talk about the stories of the day. On my far right, a man who, he's the blogger's blogger. This man, if you want to know what's going on in Kenya, go to Alai's blog, Tech Mtaa, because this man, he just calls it like he sees it without fear or favor. Robert Alai is in the house. The man in the middle, government blogger. I heard today, government blogger, that's right. And I heard today he's senior director for digital diaspora, whatever that means. But he's at the presidency and he's an important man. Denis Itumbi is in the house. And then right next to me, I tell you, I don't know which side of the political divide he's on. Maybe he's in the middle. Maybe he's, you know.
Kenya first.
Oh!
Patriot.
Benji Ndolo is also in the house. Like I said, three young minds, three varying positions. And gentlemen, welcome to the show, first of all. Thanks. And before I do that, before we go on, let me give our Twitter handles. At Alai, at Ole Itumbi, at Benji Ndolo. Mine is at Koinange Jeff. We're using the hashtag JKL Chapati Movement. I'll tell you about that in a while, but just tweet using that hashtag, and Dennis will explain that a little later. In the meantime, let's talk about
nice shoes.
What's been happening. Hey, yours aren't too bad, eh?
I like yours.
Are those mine?
Those are yours.
Okay.
And they're good.
Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Fantastic.
Good to see you, Dennis, with your this thing. What is this thing?
Yes.
No, I house all the facts. You know, basically it's important for discussions in this nation to be based on facts, document for document. So today we will table any document that is necessary for every issue we discuss.
When you haven't done much, you have to make up a lot of stuff.
When you have done too much, you can't memorize it all.
But Dennis,
Jeff,
yeah, go on.
this is the biggest indictment of the Kenyan government.
Yes.
It was supposed to be a digital government.
What is this?
Oh,
Why is digital?
By the way, Jeff, one of the biggest digital discoveries is 3D printing. This gentleman don't know about 3D printing.
So
the biggest
this is
advancement
3D printing.
And by the way, printing was not replaced by the digital movement. And I'll be giving these gentlemen flash disks also. So I'll give hard copies and I'll give them flash disks.
Yeah.
They can go refer.
But we don't want viruses. But anyway,
okay.
no chills.
No chills. Dennis, first of all, before we go on, do you still have a job? No, but Roho Safi, because you know, Nzioka Waita has come in and he's kicking.
Moved on from delivery to chief of staff.
Oh my goodness!
No.
Do you have a job?
My friend, if I had no job, the press statement would have been clear on that. And I would not even be on this bench today.
Okay.
I'll probably be trying to make my next move somewhere, asking Alai to employ me as a chief blogger at Tech Mtaa.
Okay.
But the job is there. I mean, all what that government has done is just reorganize its communication structure, and I will not comment about that because there's a man in the office who is now in charge of national government communication. By tomorrow, I'm sure, and in the next few days, he'll be able to explain what has happened.
That is Eric Kiraide, right?
Yes.
Eric Kiraide.
And you can be sure that you'll see a lot of us. I mean, in that statement, you didn't see any of our names. So, I mean, the statement has a clear definition. It's 3 paragraphs with a very clear, very well simple.
Hold on, Benji, hold on. But if Eric Kiraide has been made the official government spokesman, Benji, what does that do to Manoa?
Yes, he's been sacked. But he's still earning a salary.
He's basically been sacked. Not just that. If I wasn't a nice guy, Jeff, and I realize this is national television, I would say that Itumbi's job waits until August 2017, if you know what I mean.
Oh. All right, you know, it is important for, you know, Benji loves throwing up statements, not based on any facts, but imagination.
Guy, but I didn't.
But it's based on imagination, which is okay for him to imagine because it's actually a constitutional right. It protects the highest ideals of imagination. So it is okay for him to imagine, and it is acceptable. In fact, in 2013, he sold several candidates and he jumped to several of them. So I mean, it's okay. and he can continue selling it, and we'll meet again in 2017.
Alai,
But now
yes.
we have an elected government
Yes.
that is going to serve its term until 2017. Let's give them time.
Okay, Alai.
Today, the president said they're going to serve until 2032. I don't know where he got the mandate to announce that, but it's scaring us because I fear what the government is trying to do. First, they ran away from the IBC, ran away from the opposition leaders. You saw what Raila went through today at the IBC headquarters. This is not supposed to be a biased referee. IBC is not doing the country right by running away from our leaders. So it was very surprising to see the Raila Odinga addressing somebody who is not well experienced to be addressed by the key leaders. But still, on the government, I think that the appointments you're trying to see now is realignment. But it's more of corruption than realignment. Because what they're trying to do is remove somebody from the job, but he's still earning a salary. Like what you have been complaining about.
No,
It's true.
Alai, can you now
Yes,
respond?
wait.
Hold on,
Wait,
Dennis,
wait,
hold
wait.
on, real quick.
Yes.
Because you bring in Kirai there.
Yes.
Manoa is still there.
Yes.
Is Manoa State House spokesman? Is he government spokesman?
Muvi Kariuki is redeployed still. You know, he was
what's
never
going
really fired.
on
yes.
here? Alai?
And they had scrapped the position.
And you know, we had not long ago that Olelenko was still earning a salary.
Who? The mattress guy.
Yes, the mattress guy
Okay.
was still earning a salary. While we have somebody who is appointed, the general who is making a lot of noise, the what? Operation Nyundo.
Dennis,
No,
go on, go
let's
on.
give the facts. It's important to give, as I said, the highest ideals of imagination. But the facts are as follows, Jeff. In today's statement, there was a clear definition. And you've covered international media. I also have worked for international media. And we both understand the models of a presidential system. For instance, the White House. You have a White House spokesman,
Yeah.
and you have several spokesmen for the different state departments. So what has happened here?
But one for the government.
What has happened here, our government is structured to have government and state. So you have a State House spokesperson who is based in State House speaking about state matters. Then you have someone who speaks for entire government, because the government is not, even the constitution is very clear that the president is the head of state and head of government. So in those two departments, under state you have Manoa Esipisu, and under government you have Eric Raide. And as I said, you'll be able to see, and I want to admit here, that government communication over the last 2-3 years has had a lot of voices. It's not been coordinated. It's
been
what
discordant.
what you are seeing now is an effort to correct that and to ensure that you
last
have
year.
one voice. You have one voice that is clearly coordinated. And by the way, it doesn't matter when you correct stuff, because you are given a mandate for 5 years by Kenyans. And within those 5 years, you deliver what is there to
Okay,
deliver.
we're going to
Jeff,
talk about delivery in a moment. Benji, go ahead.
Before that,
Yeah.
the real question to Itumbi, you know, that most Kenyans, and there's many Kenyans watching this show tonight, locally and internationally. There's Kenyans in Germany, etc. And guys want to know why the recycling. You ask him many detailed things. Why recycle people that have been spokesmen 10 years ago in a rotten force, etc., have now gone to KAA. By the way, I was just doing a little prep before I came to this show.
Uh-oh.
One of my top issues with Jubilee is the airport tenders and this managing director Yatich at Kenya Airports Authority, which is where
Eric Kennedy
Kireti
was.
is coming from. And you know that there was an inflation of about 9 billion shillings, the same place where there were these buses that the president, to his credit, cancelled. So there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of rubbish. Sorry, I'm just going to shoot straight the way it is. And you'll come and say many things, Dennis, but the fact of the matter is that Uhuru is at an age nowhere close to Kibaki. He's a young guy, same as Ruto, and today I've seen them campaigning all over the place over one dam. It's not really clear what you guys have achieved. I'm sorry. The truth hurts, but it's not, absolutely not clear. The shilling is weak, youth are completely unemployed, and the only thing making news
have the
is all the
hugest debt.
looting under in the name of the youth in the NYS after making youth clean sewers in
Dennis.
slums.
Fantastic. I don't know where Benji mixes a lot of things so that we don't have time. We don't know how to respond, but I'll start with corruption.
You're going to go
Because
through your
it
notes?
No, I'm not going to notes. I have these things. What I need to do is to share so that he has a record after this to refer to. First, there are 371 cases of corruption in court.
How many arrests, Dennis?
371
How many
are in court
convictions?
and prosecuted. Benji is here pushing for the constitutional obedience and for people to follow the constitution. Yet the constitution that Kenyans went to vote in 2010 in the referendum provides that the president creates or prosecutes these people through institutions. EACC, Kenyans decided EACC was going to be independent. So the president goes with the state of the nation, says these guys are guys who should be for corruption, then goes to EACC for investigation, and you have CID and police that fall under national government. Then from there, EACC gives it to the DPP, who Kenyans, including Benji, because he campaigned in that referendum, said should be an independent office to prosecute. So the DPP moves to court to prosecute. Then the judiciary determines who goes to court and who does not the president. The president role ends at that. He cannot then therefore come and ask, why has the president not prosecuted those people? It is the role of the president.
Okay, let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. No, hold on, Dennis. I'll get back to you.
It's good for me to give Benji before you go.
Oh, give him a copy.
This document.
Okay. Alai. Okay, there's all this stuff that Dennis is talking about.
Yes.
But come on, every single day or every other day, there's a scandal.
Big scandal.
There's
the ones we have not known. The
No,
ones we have
still
not talked
coming. They're still
about.
coming.
The ones we have not talked about. The World Bank sponsored lighting project. The second pipeline from Mombasa. A lot of scams. But let's go back to the institutions. They're talking about the institutions. But you see what the General Nkaiseri was trying to do? Trying to usurp the powers of the institutions. And now trying to go direct and say, that somebody can be in jail because a general says so.
A whole governor.
A whole governor elected.
Because of guns?
Because of, first of all, Jeff.
But hold on.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair.
Was it because of his guns?
No. This is the point.
Because
We
of
didn't even know
injuring
Joho
the
had guns
ego
until
of the president.
they told us. Did we know Joho had guns? So this is until the government did all this mess that now, everybody knows that Joho has
Benji is like,
2, 3
it's
guns.
important for us to correct that.
Go on, Jeff.
It is not the government that said Joho has guns. In fact, the government through its mechanism wrote to Joho. Then Joho took the letter.
After Joho told him, write to me, please.
We went no. The first letter was written to Joho, asking him to come and explain about the gun, which is the procedure.
It was called by Kimaru. It was called by Kimaru.
I'll give you the letters, my friend.
No,
I'll give you the letters.
But why?
Just 1 minute.
But why?
Just 1 minute. He did, the process was fairly followed. Then Joho went public to politicize in an effort to keep the guns. Now, let's see what the Firearms Act, Cap 114 of Kenyan law says.
Oh, now you're going to read us the act?
A firearm certificate may be revoked by a licensing officer if the licensing officer is satisfied that the holder is prohibited, and several things are put down there. It is the law. If we are talking about obeying the law, we keep the law. And by the way,
Okay, hold on.
no, just a minute. And by the way, this matter has gone to court and has been decided in court before. I'll give you an example of Yongo.
But why Joho's guns? Why just him?
Yongo threatened Juma Jacob.
Just a
and
minute.
the IG himself
Just a minute.
dispatched
Just a minute.
officers
What
to
I'm
his
going to
rescue.
raise, what I'm going to raise actually affects Joho, because on this issue, in fact, Benji and Alai, I strongly believe the best remedy for Joho is not to resist, because everyone who has resisted, I have 14 cases. We will give these documents after this when we are going out. 14 cases that have been decided. Anyone who resisted giving up the firearm certificate was eventually he lost the case in court. And this is an example. This judge, and it's the same judge who gave the ruling.
Maybe somebody bribed the judge.
This judge, no. This judge basically said, a firearm is not a toy. It is a very lethal weapon, and as such, not to be brandished anyhow, as if it was a swagger stick or a fly whisk.
Okay.
Those are free. No.
You're telling us
It is important for us to have a discussion based on facts.
Was Joho displaying his guns?
And that is where I'm going.
By the way,
that is only displaying is only
guns
one
does
thing.
Joho have?
That's the other
And
thing.
how many Kenyans display guns?
How many guns does he have?
I'm not even here to defend Joho, by the way.
Me too.
We have my own issues with
The judge
Joho.
actually said a firearm, in my view, is not a symbol of power and not to be issued to those who simply want to use the same to intimidate other members of society or to throw their weights around. Remember, it's not only Joho whose gun have been.
So Joho intimidated who?
No, and that is where I'm going. There are about five.
Alai,
there are about
real
five
quick.
issues, and I've read the law.
Remember when Sonko's bodyguard started intimidating people at, I think, Lee funeral
Yes.
with
During
shotguns?
Fidel's- yeah,
It was
exactly.
during Fidel's
It
funeral.
was during Fidel's
right?
funeral.
Yes.
How come
And they
those
got
guns
recalled.
weren't withdrawn?
Pastor Nganga still has his guns.
Pastor Nganga has
You know,
guns.
let's
Pastor
not.
in quotes.
No. He was the gun was withdrawn immediately. He was charged in court.
It was
let's-
withdrawn. The license withdrawn in public, but the guy has guns. I can confirm to you that one.
No,
There you
then
go.
that is illegal. Have you reported to the police? Have you reported to the police? That's a criminal issue.
Dennis,
He should,
Dennis,
as a citizen,
answer.
the constitution requires him,
Yeah.
as a citizen of this republic, who is a
Jeff, you have to allow me
blogger,
to take
to
this
move
guy
to
on.
court.
Jeff, you have to allow
Dennis,
me to
hold
take
on,
this guy
Benji, hold on.
1 second.
Real quick.